The most difficult and obnoxious presenter I've ever worked with is James Corden. And I was asked by his production company, would I be willing to direct a challenge, a separately recorded challenge that was going to be part of A League of Their Own show. It was season 7, episode 3, and I'll never forget it. Because the production company asked me to talk to them because they'd heard that I had filmed food before, which I had. Like, it's difficult. It's like our job of directing is like we as if we're shooting it and directing, then we just point cameras at things and film them. Of course, there's things to know about how to make things look good, and there's skills and techniques. But it was important for me to know how to make food look good. It actually turned out that was nonsense, as I thought it would be. It wasn't important at all. So there we were. There was the situation. Can you come and film this challenge? I said, sure. And they said, how are you working with difficult presenters? I says, oh, right. Okay. Well, I've filmed the 3 tenors before, and you can't get much more of a prima donna than than an opera singer. And they went, oh, right. Okay. Fair enough. Right. Okay. Well, why don't you, just to be sure, come along to the rehearsal of the show, and you can witness James at work and let us know if you think this is for you. I said, fine. So I went along to Elstree and I sat in the darkness and kind of watched James on the set of League of Their Own rehearse. No audience, no other panel members, just him on his own. And he got he came to a point where he had to read from a card, and he had a card up like that, and he was reading from it. And it was kind of a joke in there. And he kind of just like, I remember, he just looked at it like, that's not funny. That's not funny. Like, what? He was like, that's shit. We have to rewrite that. We have to rewrite this. And I don't know, maybe he was having a bad day, I thought, and the writing's just not been up to scratch. But I definitely thought, man, somebody wrote that. Not nice to do that. But, television isn't for the faint-hearted. And sometimes you have to take these knocks on the chin. But it's humiliating for somebody. So I just kept thinking of the person who wrote the joke, and the fact that, they're doing the best they can with what they've been given, which is a garbage show as far as I was concerned. And and I kind of was like, all right, well, I'll probably handle that differently. But there you go. That's presenters for you. I'll just I get it. He's a bit stroppy. A bit grumpy, that's just how he is. This is what I thought. That's fine. I can cope with that. So we went off and started the process of having this set built. Designers came along. There were carpenters, lighting technicians, sound technicians, all the cookery. We were going to build. The challenge was to build the Master Chef set and have like 6 cooking stations. 1, 2, 3, 4 cooking stations, which had ovens and hobs and everything. Everything had to be, all the electrics had to be in there. All had to be done properly, and that was. And we had to do branding. And we had to do the front of the cooking stations, and then the walls, and make it look good. So we were working on it, and I thought it looked quite good. It looked kind of Master Chef-y, which was the brief. We had the logo everywhere for League of Their Own, so there was no copyright issues or anything like that. And a lot of people had worked really hard because it had to be done really quick. It had to be done like overnight or something like that. And people were pulling out the stops to make it look good and make it work. And the guys were still like painting the set when we arrived and stuff. And they were like very last minute. They were obviously like they'd busted their guts to get this thing ready, and I appreciated it. And I told them, and I was like, it looks. And I made sure. I made a big song and dance about how much I loved the look of the sets when I arrived. I was like, God, this is amazing. It's fantastic. It's so good. And saying stuff like that. So they were chuffed. People who had responsibility for this were chuffed. That's how you do it, right? And it did look brilliant, right? So I'm there, and we're getting set, and I'm taking all the camera guys through the positions. This is how we're going to film it. This is how we're going to do the audio, blah, 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 blah. And then slowly the other presenters arrived. Jack Whitehall arrived. Absolute delight. Very friendly. Shaky hands. Couple of jokes. When do you want me here? Questions like, what do you want me to do? When do you want asking me questions? Because it's my job to let him know. right? And then there's Freddie Flintoff, same thing, you know. Cricketers are just awesome anyway. I know he's not one anymore, but he's got that almost military respect thing there. And he's just like a really, really lovely northern lad, and I liked him immediately. Very friendly. What do you need? When can I go? Is it okay if I just go and you know, just asking for permission to do things all the time? And exactly the same with Jamie Redknapp, who I didn't even know he was. But what an absolute amazing, friendly, chatty, totally unpretentious celebrity he is. If that is what he is, I don't even know. And then so there, I was thinking, oh, these guys are awesome. I'm going to have a great time here. And then enjoying it. We're enjoying ourselves. Everyone's been really receptive. Everyone's on board. And then I started noticing there's like a creeping sense of sort of anxiety. The studio started filling up with people I didn't know. I didn't know who they were or what they were doing. I'm the director, so it's not really my job to clear the floor. I'm not going to start getting really bossy like that. And I just thought it was like, you know, obviously it's a big show, a popular show. So, you know, I don't know who they are. So, but they're there. And then a couple of people with clipboards and headsets. And these people give me anxiety because they're clock watching and they're anxious and they're buzzing about. And I think these are people who had bled through from the studio because the executive producer said that we've only got James for a certain amount of time and then he has to go back to the studio. And I'm like, yeah, understood. When do we need to be done by? And I was given all the time restrictions and stuff. So I was working to these time restrictions, and we filmed it, properly. They all walked in. I got the camera to go head to head. I directed that a little bit. Told them, blocked it out with them, and we filmed it. And then the cooking started, and it was all going really well. And they were all being very receptive, giving me I was going around with a camera to each cookery station, talking to the celebs. Asking them, how's it going? Do you think that, have you seen how the others are doing? And we're getting lots of little quips and side notes and stuff, and it's fantastic. The chef was Jean-Christophe Novelli, absolutely lovely, amazing guy. No difficult chefness at all. Was totally on board and gave me tons and tons of rhetoric about each of the meals, took it totally seriously, which is what it needed, and treated them like they were, these guys, didn't make it look like a silly little joke. That's the only way it's going to work, that the audience believed this is a real competition going on here, right? And so it's all going pretty well. And then it comes to the time that, we need to get this done now. And all we had to film was the reveal of who had won. The chef is going to pick the winner. And we had 5 or 6 minutes left. And I thought, right, we're not going to be able to shoot it as per the plan. Paul, come over here and let's have a talk. And I got all the camera crew round and we had a huddle to discuss how do we shoot this in 5 minutes. And we were all going to work out the best place for cameras and do it. And I worked out, this is why I want to block it out. I think we need to do this, this and that. And they says, what if I did this? That would save you. And we worked out, we were working it out. We were working it out to save time when old Buggerlugs pipes up. What the fuck is going on here? It's obvious what you do. You put a camera there, you put a camera there, you put a camera there, and you put a camera there. He comes up, shows his dish, goes back to his table. He comes up, shows his dish, goes back to his table. You do it like this. It's so obvious how you shoot it. It's stupid. And I'm like, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right, guys. Let's just do that. That's the best thing to do. And they're all looking at me like that. Because that's obviously how we were going to shoot it. We know what we're doing. Right. And I thought, right, yeah, no, he's right. Let's do that. All right, Jim, cheers, mate. We'll do that. And so he went, all right, God, and started cooling down. And so we shoot it exactly as he's supposed to shoot it. And he was like nearly 45 minutes. He was late 45 minutes from his schedule. And I'd have had him done in 6. So cheers, James. You got your way. Well done. Well done for treading all over my toes. I don't care. I'll get paid at the end of the day. And I hope I never, ever work with you again.